Just 60 seconds after Mount Semeru unleashed its fierce eruption, early warning sensors triggered alarms across Java, sending families sprinting for safety as ash began dimming the morning light. The eruption shocked the world, but scientists cautioned that the volcano's next activity could be even more erratic. What urgent signal did the sensors pick up, and what danger still lurks beneath the thick ash? By the end of this story, you will never look at a volcano the same way again. Before we get into the eruption, the alerts, and the race for survival, make sure you subscribe, because what you are about to see is just the beginning. You do not want to miss a single moment of what happens next. At 6:11 a.m., as dawn breaks, a sudden jolt rips through the peak of Mount Semeru. Control monitors in the command center spike to red as seismic readings climb far above normal. 10 seconds later, the first plume of ash shoots skyward, surpassing 2,000 meters in under a minute. Summit instruments detect a sudden, sustained harmonic tremor, a clear sign of a major eruption. Gas detectors record a sharp increase in sulfur dioxide, confirming magma is rising rapidly. Automated alerts cascade through the disaster hub. Within 60 seconds of the initial shock, evacuation sirens begin sounding the alarm across Lumajang, Pyroclastic, Klaka, and Pronojiwo. The warning network is designed to act once 2 or more sensor thresholds are crossed, alerting residents before most have even noticed. Inside the control room, technicians track the flow paths on digital maps as pyroclastic currents already thunder down the valleys. The timing is exact. At 6:12 in the morning, sirens scream, emergency texts are sent, loudspeakers pierce the morning haze, families scramble to collect essentials, schoolyards and rice paddies vanish beneath the falling ash. The first 60 seconds unfold with mechanical precision. Sensors, alarms, and human responders move in perfect coordination, each instant accounted for. The eruption's force is immense, yet the early warning provides precious time to flee. In that brief minute, survival hinges on the speed of a siren and the accuracy of a sensor. Ash smothers villages within minutes. In Lumajang, a family of 4 flees. The father carries the youngest, and the mother presses a damp cloth to her face. Morning light fades behind a gray curtain. Schoolyards disappear under ash, and classrooms are abandoned mid-lesson. Rice paddies near harvest are buried beneath gritty layers. Roads out of Pyroclastic choke with motorcycles and trucks, engines straining under the weight. Some vehicles stall in dense ash, forcing families to continue on foot. Bridges over the Pyroclastic River, weakened by prior eruptions, soon become impassable, blocked by debris or swept by hot flows. Indonesian Red Cross teams set up triage zones, wary of roofs sagging under ash. Medics distribute masks and eye drops, improvising as supplies dwindle. Schools and mosques open as temporary shelters. By midday, hundreds arrive with only essentials, identification documents, water bottles, and a few cherished photos. Volunteers guide the elderly and console children coughing from the ash. Some recall 2021, voices trembling. This time, the alarms gave them an early edge, but uncertainty lingers. Power is cut in parts of Lumajang, and overloaded networks hinder communication. As dusk nears, ash continues to fall. Families huddle in shelters awaiting updates, wondering if their homes will survive. The threat outside is invisible, yet each tremor and cough serves as a reminder. The mountain is far from done. High above, Semeru's summit dome begins swelling. Field teams measure precise changes, including vertical inflation of 13 to 19 centimeters since 2 days before the eruption. Drone surveys confirm over 27,000 cubic meters of new material added, expanding outward and upward in real time. Radial cracks stretch as long as 38 meters, some wide enough for sunlight to pierce through. Thermal cameras capture hot spots along fissures, with surface temperatures climbing past 300 degrees Celsius. Swelling slows, then surges again, hitting peaks of 10 centimeters in an hour during the eruption's fiercest phase. On the ground, geologists note loose rocks scattered along the dome's edge. Cracks run northwest to southeast, echoing the failure line from the deadly 2021 collapse. Instruments below the dome record a 33% rise in ground vibration as fractures widen. The summit is under immense stress, its structure unstable. Even a minor tremor or heavy rain could trigger a collapse. Upper slopes are primed for sudden failure, a precarious dome looming over ash-covered terrain. Dark clouds gather above Semeru. Meteorologists are forecasting over 40 millimeters of rain within 24 hours, enough to mix with fresh ash and hot debris into a deadly mix. Valleys below are packed with loose volcanic material, with some layers 3 meters deep. Rain can sweep ash and boulders into fast-moving mud flows, destroying bridges, homes, everything in its path. Prono village leaders remember 2021 when sudden rainfall turned quiet rivers into raging torrents. Now the risk is higher. Basu Kobokan Valley is filled with new pyroclastic flows, and runoff could push debris downstream with little warning. Weak roofs may collapse under rain-soaked ash. Even moderate showers threaten older houses with flat or poorly supported roofs. Air quality is a hidden menace. Rain stirs fine ash, heightening respiratory risks for the elderly and for children. Meteorologists urge residents to avoid riverbanks and to heed lahar alerts. Emergency teams monitor rainfall in real time, ready to issue new warnings if thresholds are crossed. The threat now is not only fire and ash, but moving water and mud, often silent and sudden. Seismic sensors detect a spike at the summit, amplitude surging past 40 millimeters, over 4 times normal. Gas monitors immediately flag sulfur dioxide above the 3 sigma limit. This combination, a sharp tremor and sudden gas spike, triggers mass warnings set by the Indonesian Center for Volcanology and Geological Hazard. Alerts require 2 independent anomalies to reduce false alarms. Analysts confirm thresholds were breached simultaneously. Sirens and text alerts activate without delay. These sensors form Java's early warning backbone. Once numbers exceed limits, there is no time for hesitation. Trust depends on that logic, even as fear ripples through villages. Within hours, claims of a total collapse or mega eruption spread online, fueled by unverified videos. Analysts cross-check metadata, timestamps, satellite imagery, and agency sensor logs. Verification finds no evidence of full crater collapse or seafloor involvement. Aftershocks and eruption pulses are normal, the dome is unstable yet intact. Tsunami fears are dismissed, Semeru is far inland. Experts urge the public to rely on verified bulletins, not viral speculation. The real danger is physical hazards on the ground. Panic in the feed cannot distract from true risks. Over the next 48 hours, authorities are tracking 3 possible developments. The most likely scenario sees seismic activity easing, ash emissions gradually diminishing, and evacuation zones holding steady while monitoring continues. A plausible outcome involves a partial dome collapse, which could send fresh pyroclastic flows down the valleys or, if rain falls, transform ash and debris into fast-moving lahars that threaten bridges and lowland settlements. A less probable but serious possibility is renewed internal pressure producing a stronger eruption that would trigger the highest alert levels and require urgent action. The risk cannot be underestimated. Families and emergency teams must remain vigilant for clear warning signs. Sudden surges in tremors, rapidly rising ash columns, deep rumbling sounds, heavy rainfall on accumulated ash, official alerts, or lahar sirens. Conversely, reassuring indicators include diminishing tremors, shrinking ash plumes, no new dome deformation, clear skies, and downgraded emergency notices. Staying alert to these signals gives communities the crucial advantage: time to act before the mountain does. Over 8 million people live within reach of Java's restless volcanoes. Each eruption reinforces that real-time monitoring is their frontline defense. The mountain's silence is never guaranteed. Vigilance is the bridge between warning and disaster. Awareness is the difference between memory and survival. If you want to stay on top of every eruption, every alert, and every story from the world's most powerful volcanoes, hit that subscribe button now. Don't miss a single update, because when nature moves this fast, every second counts.